I guess the difference in all these things is really the remedies. And what I mean by that is when you're suing under IDEA, the remedies under IDEA or for educational deficits or things that the school district didn't provide. So be that they didn't provide an appropriate setting for the student, appropriate services, and that's usually the cause of action under IDEA. So the remedy in those cases where we would go to what's called the Office of Administrative Hearings and have a mediation and a hearing with a judge. Well, if it goes that far, most cases settle during a mediation, but in those particular cases, the remedy is limited to really, either reimbursement for services paid out of pocket or for services not provided, maybe providing compensatory services for that particular student for services they did not receive. So there's kind of it's really about the remedy. So in that particular case, under IDEA, you're just really looking for to be made whole for educational services you either paid for out of pocket or for educational services you didn't get, and you want to get those services like made up. So they would give you maybe a block of 100 hours of speech services for maybe speech services that weren't provided over the course of maybe 2 years. So they would try to make up those services and what are called compensatory services. Okay, so that's really the scope of the limit of the IDEA. Even if you go all the way to hearing, even if you go to, they appeal, say you lose and you appeal to federal court. I mean, you can go all the way to the Supreme Court, but at the end of the day, you're really just fighting over reimbursement money for services. Okay, that's why it's limited. But however, with ADA and the Rehab Act, you have broader areas that you can sue under, and you can sue for damages that would be medical or also emotional distress, things like that could fall under ADA, and that broadens the scope of what you can get in terms of remedy. It's not just limited to, because we're not talking about just education, we're talking about something that happened to you in this environment that you need to be made whole, and that could be, that could be upwards of millions of dollars in remedies if it's something that's going to be a long-standing injury. So that's kind of the difference in the coverage of them and then also the remedy of them. But the IDEA, if you think about it this way, is really specifically for anything educationally related, and the ADA is more broad for things that happen maybe outside the education environment or outside of what the scope of the IEP provides.